Space. Not my sea. Not my contract. Not my deal. Not my home. I'm tuning out. No consent. I'm tuning out. Of your inevitable descent.
Yo, Clown Army, how the hell is it going? Welcome to another Let's Talk. I'm Pierrot the Acid Clown, you're in the Dark Circus Studios, and tonight we're going to be talking about my new rig. HYBRID23. This is her. She's beautiful. She's the rig that I wanted to make when I first started making music, but I didn't have a clue about software, and the flow was just wrong, and it just felt all horrible, and so I went hardware. Now that I've got the skills to actually go software, hardware based, then this is the rig that I'm going to use. Okay, so I guess we just like roll right into it, I suppose. Yeah, I guess. Let me just get that back up again. Okay, so HYBRID23. Why HYBRID23? Well, HYBRID23, because she is an offshoot of my original rig, which got to 22 incarnations before I decided I couldn't do anything more with her, and just, you know, that's the rig she is. But this one uses a couple of things that that were in that rig, so it's a split off. I could only go as far as 22, so this is 23. Also, 23 is a wonderful rave. Thing, you know, from the Spiral Tribe, so that's why she's called HYBRID23. So any questions you've got, please please give them to me, you know, because this is what this is about. I'm going to try and talk my way through what this rig is and how I use it and how it's connected up, because it is very, very different to the Beast That Never Sleeps. So let's roll on in with well, who have we got in the building so far? 3 people in the building. DJ FXO, Fanatic 12,000, and me, I think. So if you can give this one a share, that would be awesome. I know it's a Thursday night and not everybody is available and they're all doing shit and stuff, so that's fine. But just give us a little share, that would be absolutely awesome. Okay, so HYBRID23 is a Mac-based rig. And there is my Mac. I'm running Catalina, I think. Yeah, I think I'm running Catalina. It did have Big Sur on it, but somebody I know who works well with computers decided that wasn't the best thing to be doing, so rolled it back to Catalina for me. Thank you very much, Trauma Mammal. And Doghouse is in the building as well, and Dusty Rivers just joined us. How's it going? So yeah, running Ableton 11 on my Mac. Why are you doing that? There we go. Yeah, running Ableton 11 on my Mac. And she is the heart of the rig. She pretty much handles the drums, the percussion, the FX, and the vocals. She also sends MIDI out to everything, apart from this one. This one just gets start-stop messages. So yeah, Ableton at the heart of the rig, sending to everything. And she sounds a little like this. Oh wait. 6. And as you may have noticed, that was Catastrophe doing the vocals there. So yeah, HYBRID23 is a Mac-driven system. She has 2 synthesizers, like dedicated synthesizers. The God, what is this? System 1, System 1M, and the Hydrosynth, which is an absolutely... That's not doing it justice. There we go. It's an absolutely fucking amazing synth. It really is. but we'll get into that a little bit later. Okay. Trauma Mammal says, does this mean that you'll sell your AMX now? No, not at all. Absolutely not. Absolutely 100% not. And for this reason particularly. This is my hybrid rig. This is going to be for experimental, break BE kind of stuff that I don't really want to do with my techno rig, which is the Beast That Never Sleeps. And she's got 2 EMXs in there, and there's absolutely no way I'm selling either of them. The flow over here is massively different to the flow over here. I'm not going to say one is more enjoyable than the other. They're just different. Yeah. The way that I write tracks over here is very different to the way I write tracks over here, and the way that I perform them is also very, very different. Okay, so she's got 2 synths: the System 1M, the Hydra synth. Which, as far as I'm concerned, is a fucking beast of a synth. She also has the MC707, and for me, I've ditched all the drum capabilities and the sample capabilities off of it because it's too much of an effort to get them to fit in with what I want to do. At the moment, the 707 now provides 8 synths that are poly. 8 poly synths in one box. For me, it's a no-brainer whatsoever at all. Ableton spits MIDI to this one and this one, but she only sends start-stop to this one. Simply because I want to be able to move them around here. I don't want Ableton to do it. I'd rather I was doing it myself. And the last noise-making box that she's got is the TD3, which is the only analog piece of kit that I've got in here, apart from the distortion pedal up there. The way that I'm getting my voice through is the VT4, sorry, and we'll just show you what she can do. 1 2 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 2. She's got memory on her patches and stuff, and it's a bit hit and miss, if I'm honest. Really? That one's not too bad. Nice bit of echo there. So yeah, that's how I'm getting my
vocals into the rig. Let's just bypass that, shall we?
It's got MIDI in, which I'm not using at the moment. Well, I am, but I'm using it over USB. It's key locked. That you can key lock it to a key and harmonize and a vocoder in there as well.
1 2, so you can select T9 is amazing.
So yeah, you might actually get to hear me sing with this thing, because it automatically puts you in the key of where it is and harmonizes for you, and you know, so that's how I get into there. Trauma Mammal's off, no problem. Catch you later, fella. Fanatic 12,000 says, by the way, I'm pretty sure that synth can play cowbell. Yes, it absolutely can play cowbell. I'm sure there's some cowbells in the 707 as well. Well, let's go through the controllers again. I've got the MPD 218 for controlling Stutterhead. I've got the Mini APC for clip control, and then I've got the Akai MIDI mix, which is MIDI'd up to, this is the send and returns that I've got going on in Ableton, and then this is a filter. There you go, filter. Got some delay bits and pieces going on over here, and that is the same across the board. They've all been MIDI'd up to send and returns over here. Yeah, and they're all a filter. This is mutes, and this is record arms. These are still stop tracks, and yeah, and this will be controlling Stutterhead, which I haven't got in there at the moment, but I know I have got it in another one. So let's just open that. There we go. Stutterhead is there. Okay, and then the system M1 goes through a bit raiser and a demora as well. So bit raiser and a delay, and they live here, and they sound a little like this. That's her dry. I'm a big fan of splitting your lines. So here I've got two lines coming out of the system one. That's the original. And I have a stutter over the top of that to give it some rhythmical movement. Oh, it's actually a side chain, but you can change it to a stutter, easy enough. And I also make use of the onboard effects. And in Ableton, I can tell Ableton to make that synth play patch 1 or patch 5 or whatever. So whenever the clip kicks in, it will then change that that patch to what I'm actually working on. And unfortunately, I haven't figured out how to do the HYBRID yet because Ableton wants numbers and the HYBRID wants letters. So if anybody knows how to do that, then let me know. That would be awesome. So here is what Stutterhead does. And Stutterhead is the last piece that I needed for this rig to emulate the Chaos pads. I actually have one Chaos pad in the rig at the moment, and it's a mini Chaos pad, and it deals with the TD3. Let's just give you that. Right. Original line. That's what the original line sounds like. And when I went up to visit Aaron Courts, this was the one thing that I took away from his studio massively, was split your lines. That's not a bad line. It's not a bad line, you know? But if you stick some distortion on it, it becomes better. And then if you whack a little bit of delay on it, it just comes alive. Yeah? So if you can, split your lines as much as possible. Like I say, the only other split that I've got going on here is the System 1M into the Roland effects units. I would like to split some more, but unfortunately I can't. I've got the Hydra coming in on a stereo channel so that we can have panning and stuff going on. The TD3 is on 2 channels as well, so is the System 1, the VT is on 1, and the MC707 is just on the 1 channel as well. And everything is coming out of live over here. Eric Lewing put something up about OBS at the moment, and it's really important to have 2 separate rigs. Yeah, streaming and performing at the same time on one PC is really going to stress it the fuck out. So all of my stuff goes through this mixer. Ableton's routed through there, and then it comes straight out over there into the little mixer, and then out to you guys. Okay. The box that did stutter edits, or have you had to program it yourself? How exactly does it work? Yeah, no problem. Let's just get stutter edit up. Apparently you can use multiple instances of stutter edit. Alright, I don't know if you can see that. Probably can't. I don't really want to go moving the camera. Anyway, basically stutter edit is made by BT, and it just... Oh, I need something playing. And most of the stutters are already pre-programmed. There's hundreds and hundreds of stutters in there. You just have to assign them to a pad, and off they pop. Like I say, there's some crazy stuff that goes on in Stutterhead. That's some of the more aggressive stuff. And all of the stutters are programmable within Stutterhead, so you can change them up as much as you like. Literally, all you do is go over here, and it brings up the piano roll to where the keys are and what they. So, yeah, that's that one, and that's that one, and this is what they sound like. And because of the MPD28, you've got 3 banks of, so essentially I've got 3 banks of these 16 pads to choose from and load up stutters into. At the moment it's only on the drums, but you can use it multiple instances. I may get another pad so that I can use it on the master effect as well. Basically it just kind of takes away, it takes away the need for a chaos pad. The chaos pads are noisy, they're really, really old tech. But yeah, you know, this is as close as I can get to a chaos pad without actually having to use a chaos pad. And it's got more bits and pieces on there, but it doesn't move around the pad like the chaos pad does. So. So that's Stutterhead. Literally, load them up. Tell Ableton which channel you want it to play on, and then load up your stutters, and then personalize them as much as you like as well. You could do a whole jam on just that and the source. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, the stutter thing is dope. And I will say at the moment that Stutterhead is available from plugin boutiques, and it's £49. You also get drum tweaker, breaks tweaker, sorry, which mine's not working. I need to talk to them about. You also get Iris 2. You get a bunch of plugins and some free other bits and pieces. It's well worth doing. It's well worth getting because it's usually about £190. But yeah, it's down at about 40 quid these days. Okay. Actionless Loveless says, I use a guitar A/B loop to avoid noises like lo-fi FX, like the Chaos Pad and Zoom. I'll just drag one of mine out a minute, one of my old Chaos Pads. The problem with these is they were made ideally for DJs. Yeah, so the ground loop, they have a ground loop on them. So I'm guessing that I can probably eliminate some of the hum if I ground loop it up to something. But yeah, you know, they're ridiculously old, and you can only have one patch playing per. Oh, nobody can see that. That's a shame. So they've only got one patch that you can have playing, whereas over here with Stutterhead, you can only have one play at the same time, but you can bounce around between them. So that's the stutter on its own. That's just that stutter. So yeah, you can have lots and lots of stutters at your fingertips and make it like a Chaos Pad. So that's what I use Stutterhead for. Midi Routine, I guess. Yeah, so that goes in over USB. These go in over USB. This goes in over USB. And then there is MIDI from, I believe it might actually be this. So it's coming out of Ableton somewhere. I'm not too sure where. I did look at the routing the other day, but yeah, it comes in through there. Then the MIDI goes into there, and then the MIDI comes down into the 707. Literally just for start stop. So yeah, this rig is so much more simpler than my other rig over there, because I've got one major source throwing out just about everything to this one, and everything is controlled over here. I'm pretty sure you all know how Ableton works. It works on clips. I've also got groups set up within Ableton, group tracks. It works mostly on the percussion on this one, I think. Yeah. So I believe. Let's just stop everything. So yeah, it's on the percussion. I've got group tracks on the percussion, so there should be something else. Oh right, you got to get. So you can add more as it builds up, yeah, and then. So you can add 2 tracks within that group, or multiple tracks within that group. Think of them as like, Warren says, think of them as like mutes. And yeah, it totally is. So if you set up your group tracks, then you've only got one thing to press over here to bring in those multiple sounds. So it's mostly on the percussion. I believe that's 2 playing. Then it goes down to 1. Should be 2 there. So yeah, HYBRID23 is a really simplistic rig. It really, really is. It's going to make going out to gigs so much easier. Admittedly, it's still on a Jasper stand, but there's very little that I need to do to keep this moving along. It all runs off of Ableton, and like I say, the workflows are very, very different. I know that this is going to be precise. I don't have to fanny around with the chaos pads and making sure that I get them in the right place. The only chaos pad I've got is that one, and it's literally just running CD3. Right, excuse me, let me find a drink, because my throat is quite dry now. Unhinged Filth is off. Catch you later. Oh, that's Fnatic. Touch Circle says this is cool. Thank you for doing it. Like I say, if you've got any questions, please let me know. Right? Please let me know. For MIDI with the Hydra, MIDI bank select. Check out CC controllers, bank selection, CC32LB. Brian, I'll talk to you a little bit more offline about that because I really would like to sort this out. I've tried putting letters into Ableton and Ableton just won't do it. Yeah. Anyway, we'll work on that. Right. Have there been any more questions? Audio through the PC or MX? All the audio is coming from the MX. Everything is coming from the MX. Ableton is in over here. The 707 is here. VT, System 1, TB, TD, Hydra. So everything goes through there. I was going to split the tracks, the percussion, the FX and stuff, and have them coming through here, but I thought that was a bit of a waste. Because I've got mutes and stuff down here, so it seems absolutely pointless to do that. Whereas I can make them, work down here. So yeah, everything is routed through the MX. And then straight out from the MX into the mixer. Okay. Where are we with that? I think. Okay. I just got a TD3 and noticed its inputs, its patterns. Is it possible to stop that? Touch, you're going to have to elaborate on that a bit. I'm not too sure where you're going with that. Basically, I don't use the sequencer on this or that. Well, there isn't a sequencer on that one. So Ableton is sent. I don't know if you notice. It shouldn't. Yeah. Usually, when it's running, the red light will come on here. It means that the sequencer's going. So literally, all I've got is one blank pattern there on that one. Just stick to one. And then send MIDI notes to it via Ableton. And you can do that by turning, I believe it's the sync off, because the sync is the start-stop. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, it's a clear pattern. Outputs via MIDI. Again, I'm just using the. Actually, yeah, Ableton is sending all of its MIDI through the TD3 into this one and this one. So MIDI notes go from that into that and into that. It's the way Warren set it up. I'm not 100% sure how he did it because I'm not that clued up with Ableton. Yep. Okay, it outputs the MIDI of the pattern to the next synth if you use the MIDI from the TD3. That's correct. But what you've got to do, yeah, there's a through on it. So what you need to do is, in the manual somewhere, it will say change the MIDI settings from out to through, and then it will take whatever messages is coming through from the main sequencer into the next synth. So yeah, like I say, I'm not even using the sequencer on it. It's sending nothing to anything else. The MIDI is just going through that into other things. So it will send MIDI notes to something else if you've got it in out mode. Yeah, if you've got it in through mode, it will take whatever's coming through into the next synth. So just find out how to set it to through, and you should be good there. Do you play anything on AL, or are you using it to send MIDI? John, what do you mean by that? Do you play anything on Ableton, or are you using it to send MIDI? Yeah. At the moment, my tracks in Ableton literally go drums, percussion, FX, extra track, because I didn't know what to call it, vocals, the Hydra synth, the TD3, and the System 1M. There's nothing, there's no sounds being generated within Ableton from synths. I've got a few synths, I will look into that, but at the moment I don't think I need to with the amount of noises that I can create here. Like I say, there's eight polysynths on each track, which is fucking insane. And as soon as you can pick them up now for about £500, that's less than 4 Volcas, and you get 8 polysynths. It's a no-brainer for me. It really, really is. I was hoping that this box was going to replace my EMXs over here, but it just wasn't up to the job. But the job that it does do with those synths is fucking amazing. It is beautiful. The Zencore engine that's inside it is absolutely fantastic. Let's just see if I can. And you can also stick an ARP on it. The sounds that come out of it are beautiful. And the way I've set this one up, it's got 16 tracks. So I'm going to have 4 tracks per track. So I'll have 4. Usually sets are made up of about 8 tracks, 8 to 10 tracks. So I'm going to have to use 2 patches over here, 2 projects, to cover the 8 tracks that I've got in my hour-long set. And each track is split into 4, so that I can have 4 variations of whatever synth is going on at that time. And honestly, it's a great box. It's got some ridiculous shortcomings, but it is an absolutely great box. Okay, where are we? Samples VST. Yeah, no problem, John. So yeah, all of my percussion at the moment are samples. Just pull that down a bit. So yeah, everything on this side is all sample based. So Ableton is playing. So these are all sample FX samples, percussion, more FX, and I will get some vocals in there at some point. The only VST that I'm particularly using at the moment is Stutterhead, and that's pretty much dedicated to this one. And anything from the vocals over this way is all within Ableton. The 3 lines here are the MIDI that she's spitting out to everything. How do you edit presets on the 707 on itself or using the PC editor? I fucking hate PC editors. I really, really do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not particularly happy about the way that this box does it. I would have preferred that they'd have had this section over here as well, done away with half of these fucking knobs, and have like dedicated controls for the synth on it. That would have been absolutely fucking beautiful. You could have hidden most of the rest of it in fucking in menu diving and stuff, because there is a lot of menu diving going on over here. So yeah, I will edit my synth patches on the 707 itself. I just prefer to do it that way. I'm not adverse to software, you know. It's just it frustrates me, and I can't get the workflow as quick as I can with the Beast. Yeah, it's everything here is hands-on, and you know most of it is entered in sequencers and stuff, and it feels so much more hands-on. This just feels like cleaning my eyeballs through my asshole, and I'm not adverse to it. You know, I'm now embracing it like massively. Let's just see what else we got on there. Let's go with that then. This should have Stutterhead on it as well. So these are the tracks that I've made whilst the first tracks that I've made using this rig. Let's just see what we've got going on here. There. That could do with going up a bit. Don't know why it's so quiet. We are program 10. It's not in the right place, is it? There we go. So you can see with Stutterhead that's not in this track, and the effects that are going on up here with the MX1, I can get real movement from my tracks without actually having to program it, and that's what I like. I would rather perform a track than press play and let you all listen to it. That to me doesn't feel like, and that's kind of why I shied away from computers for a while, because it felt to me like you just made the track and then press play and let people listen to it. But Ableton, But Ableton Live does that in a completely, in a live way. It feels live, So yeah, that's why I do that. Don't I get MIDI lag? Honestly, John, I've never had MIDI lag. No, so he says samples from my DAW play faster than my MIDI. So, like, you've just heard that. Let me just find something that might have stutter edit to it. So yeah, we changed. Yeah, we changed. Let's just move that one. Don't know whether you've got stutter edit on you or not. I don't think so. No, you haven't. Okay. So yeah, John, are you just sending MIDI notes from Ableton, or are you using the sequencers within the boxes? Because like I don't. Okay, so John says that he's sending MIDI. That's the Hydra. John said he's sending MIDI from the DAW to synths, and there's a 5-second lag on them. Now this happens with Warren's setup a lot, and in this point you've got to push your track delays by some milliseconds, like 22 or 44 or 21 or something. I'm not shit up on that. However, when I have when I use the MIDI clock to track from the Beast to Ableton, I've got to push the MIDI out on the sound card to get it to get it in time. So you may need to fanny around with your delays, push them up or down a little bit, just to try and get that smoothly. But I'm shocked that you're getting that problem. How many synths have you got hooked up to Ableton? Because literally I've got 1, 2, 3. That's it. So it's not much strain upon Ableton, I believe. Again, I don't know computers that much, so for the love of God, don't, Sending MIDI into the okay, where are we? Yep, there we go. Actionless Lover says the same thing. Just try sending 5 milliseconds of latency compensation manually on the MIDI track. Yep. Again, push your delays out. Push your delays out. But I did a recording not very long back of the Hydra and the TD3, and everything lined up perfectly. And it's the one thing the problem that I was having with the Beast is the delay, and it wouldn't lock to Ableton's grid. What I had to do was run a kick in Ableton, match it against my kick, and then push the delay out by however much it took just to bring that in line with Ableton, and have the MIDI clock running as well. That meant that the start stop was here, and every time you stopped it, it would revert right back to the beginning, which was a real ball ache. And another reason why I decided to go hybrid and just send MIDI notes from Ableton to literally to everything. So that's why I did that. Okay, so where are we? 47 minutes, easily an hour. All right, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the blue track. Wanted to talk a little bit about the Hydra synth. It's my first big boy synth, and it is fucking beautiful, absolutely fucking beautiful. It literally is the centerpiece for this this rig. It's laid out beautifully. Everything is here. If there's 2 pages to an oscillator, all you got to do is press it again, and it will take you to page 2, or come down for page 2. You can set things by just holding it and then pressing another thing, and it will go into it. It's unbelievable. It starts out as an 8-wave thingy. It's a digital synth, so it starts out with 8 waves, and you can customize the bollocks off of it. But I'm just going to run through a few presets. So once you've edited those, you can then turn them on and off to back to their original, and then just add them as you need to. Honestly, the synth is laid out fucking so well. It's an absolutely awesome synth. It really is. Tell me more about Roland Plug-Out. Don't use it. Don't use it whatsoever at all. I use the original engine that comes with the Roland System 1. Let's just give you a little test of what she sounds like. Let's do it dry. And I think that this the engine within this is And the reason I love that synth so much is because it's got a push gate on there. That's something to do with modular. So if you push it, it will send signal out to the modular and stuff. However, for me, it's perfect for like risers and falls. Absolutely fucking love that button. I've also got the Hydra set up as a master synth. So if I go over to the System 1M, open it up, go into the System 1M, do that. I can then, hopefully this will work. Should be the System 1. So, yeah, it is. It's now playing the System 1. And this is what she sounds like with the Hydra. Let's pick a better... Oh no. So that's now the System 1M and the Hydra playing. But I can just... And the same thing for the TD3. Let's just go over there. Click that. And this should now play the TD. No, for some reason she's not. I wonder why that is. She's receiving MIDI. I had this problem the other day. I think it might have something to do. Oh no, wait. There we go. So I can not. And then with the Hydra. So yeah, my Hydra synth is the master keyboard, and will send MIDI to everything else so that I can input things that way, which is fucking beautiful. It's a godsend. It really, really is. So that's my master keyboard, and she can send MIDI to these two to play in. So what I'll do is I'll set a track up, record something in, and then go in and edit it MIDI wise. Actionless Loveless says that synth definitely asks for some low pass compression. I don't use compression at all. The only compression I actually use is on the MX1, and it's a preset, and it literally just lifts things up a little bit. So let's have a. It's got aftertouch, which is awesome. Not doing her justice right now, that's for sure. Listen to those noises. Yeah, the Hydra is possibly the nicest synth I've ever fucking played on. What I especially like about this synth is you can go from the patch to something just wild in minutes. That patch was called Pew Pew. That's the pitch bend mode for the ribbon. This is the theremin. Yep, somebody says you can create some crazy leads with that last patch. All of them are cool. And that is why I love the synth. Literally, when I picked it up, I spent like a couple of days just listening to the fucking patches. And they are absolutely fucking gorgeous. I'm not doing it justice at the moment because I'm not finding the decent... But honestly... touching the keyboard. Let's get into the B's, shall we? that sound. Brian, good question. You stop it now. Thank you. Is the Hydra ARPs on the main MIDI clock? Does Ableton send the clock? Yeah, absolutely. For some reason, when I plugged it in, the ARP didn't work when it was accepting MIDI clock from Ableton. So I literally just put it to automatic rather than in or external, and it picked up the BPM from it. So yeah, the ARP is controlled by Ableton's clock, and sends. Yeah, the Hydra is massive, and it is literally the best synth that I have in my collection. The 707 comes close with the Zencore engine, but literally, yeah, the sounds that come out of this are well worth the money that you're going to pay for it. I also picked up a Bass Station 2 recently, and again, wonderful synth, awesome synth, but it doesn't quite have the testicles that the Hydra synth has. The Hydra synth is an absolutely fucking amazing synth. It really is. Yeah, let's get back there. Save. Okay, so I think we're coming to the end of this talk. I've been here for an hour now. You now know that it's an Ableton-based rig with stutter edit here, clip launch here, effects over there. Ableton spits MIDI to the Hydra synth, to the System 1M, and to the TD3 and time clock. Ableton spits time clock message to this one, and that literally is such a simple rig. It takes me about 10 minutes to set up. It's so much more compact and condensed than the Beast That Never Sleeps, which is an absolute pain in the ass. Stereo Ripe, yes, I have spoken about the 707. I can just run through that again. I'm not using the sample capabilities or the drum capabilities on the 707. I'm literally using her as 8 polysynths. And literally, who doesn't want 8 polysynths in a box, right? You know, I mean, it's an awesome sounding engine. She's just a bit of a pain in the ass to program, and like, you see, not bad. So yeah, just using her for her synth capabilities, and she's got 16 tracks within her, so I'm going to split that down into four songs, and have four 4x8 variations within that. I might want a 707, says Stereo Ripe. Okay, so the issues that I have for me with the 707 is project load time takes nearly a minute. On stage, that is an absolute fucking nightmare. You just can't do that, you know. It needs to be straight there and straight in. I compared it to the EMX one time, and they were like, oh yeah, but it doesn't have the samples, and you know, it's got to pull all these things up, and that's fine. Can we not have a function where it loads the next pattern into like a buffer or something, so that when you want to go to it, you can get there quickly? That would be awesome. Also, there's only 1 minute stream from the card, but I think they were aiming that at like a one-shot thing. You can sample. Apparently, there's like 12 minutes stereo time and 6 minutes mono time if you record it in and sample it. But I really don't want to have to do that. I want to put it on the card, and from the card, I want to load it onto the machine. So there are a few foibles within her, but like I say, you can pick these up for about £500 these days, and it's 8 polysynths in one box. Who doesn't want 8 polysynths in one box? It's ridiculous. Pretty much a second-hand one of these will cost you what four new Volcas will, which is absolutely insane. The powerhouse that is here compared to the Volcas is nuts, like absolutely nuts. For carrying this rig to gig, please take notes of cabling and get some spares. I do not leave the house without at least a couple of spare MIDI cables, audio cables, USB cables. I've been to places where I've needed to set up differently because something wasn't working or whatever, and I've not had the cables, so I always take extra cables with me to places, because otherwise it's ridiculous. Yeah, Stereo Ripe. I can't believe it has to load between projects. The Electribe is in an instant. Yes, it is. But the Electribe's dealing with internal bits and pieces. Like each patch is easy to load. There's no samples. There's no buffer time. You know, it's got to pull the 707 has to pull a lot of information for its projects into the project. So I understand why it takes a while to load. I'm just really not happy with it. But like I say, the sound that comes out of her is. Oh shit, wrong one. Let's just try something else. Let's try leads. There we go. And these come with the 707. Absolutely awesome box. Is over-engineered to fuck. It's a great piece of kit. I just wish they'd have presented it in a different manner. And I also wish they presented two of them like they did with the Electribes, the blue and the red one. Let's have a sample. Let's have a dedicated groove box. It would have brought the price down, and you could have still have drum capabilities even though you can't load them on, which I think would have been a no-brainer on that one, because it kind of feels like they shoehorned the sampling in after they decided that the box was going to be the box. It's not really, you know. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Okay. So, is it not possible to do live sets with the 707? Yes, it is, and I did it a few times. I took her out on the road a few times, but the problem is you've got to stop the box and then keep twiddling other things to keep the music going. Then you've got to load the patch, and then it takes a minute to do it, and then you've got to stop everything and start your main sequencer again. So it is possible. It's just a very roundabout way of doing things, and it's not very intuitive live on stage. which is why I'm going to break tracks down into four clips deep, so that I can have the variation within the 4 and have 4 tracks within that one patch. So I don't need to have to worry about stopping, starting, or changing anything on it for 4 tracks. And I think that's the way that I'm going to use that one. Okay. It's better for the studio, I guess. Not for me, though. Well, like, it's just annoying on stage is the problem. You can get around those foibles. Like I say, if you sample in, you've got 12 minutes per project. But I was finding that with the streaming from the card, the minute, I think it is, minute and some, that I was getting between 8 and 12 breakbeat samples before the internal memory was crapping out. And that's you know, I want more than that. Ideally, what I wanted was 1 project per 8 songs, but unfortunately, it's not the way that it can be done, which is a real annoyance. Yeah, Gon says, I can't get my head around the subscription model with all the latest rolling gear. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. That is a crazy thing to be doing, but it's the way they're going. And, you know, unfortunately, that's the way it is. Yes, Brian. The 707 is live is capable, but you need a ton of prepper in, and it can't be the main sound stage. Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't use it as my main sequencer, although it's massively capable of being a main sequencer. It's that project load time which really lets it down, and the streaming from the cards just really lets it down. So like I say, I've sacked off all the drum capability and sample capability, and now she's just 8 synths. Yeah, so essentially I've got 8, 9, 10, 11 synths within this rig that I can play with. To me, it sounds like a no-brainer. So yeah, I think we've come to the end of my talk. You now know everything that is here. You now know how I use it. And Flex units. LSD. Don't do drugs, kiddies. Or do them. It's up to you, really. Life choices, my friends, life choices. Okay, so this is my hybrid rig, and my hybrid rig is going to be more for experimental stuff. I'm going to keep the Beast That Never Sleeps as a techno rig, and yeah, I think that is about it for this evening. We have been here for 1 hour and 17 minutes. You have listened to me ramble. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. I will be doing more talks and stuff on bits and pieces as I grow within this rig. Like I say, this is the rig that I wanted to build when I first started making music, but I don't like computers and I don't like the way they work. Ableton Live has kind of brought that forward for me so that I can now, you know, use it as a live thing. It feels more like I'm doing stuff rather than just press and play and let it go. Okay, Actionless Loveless, I'm glad you find it fun. Well, see, Dusty River says exactly the same, just abbreviated interfaces. Kind of. I've got. I mean, I can have access to the drums there, but it's done in a completely different way to the EMX, where I can just like smash a button and I'm into a kick or a snare or whatever, and I can use the arpeggiator within the. Oh no! The new Electribe that I've got has knob jitter. It means I'm gonna have to open her up and put the fucking thingy in there. Bastard fucking thing. God damn it. Alright, well, it's a known fault with the EMX anyway. I'll do a video on that. Dean Daughters did one once. So, yeah. Right, well, thank you all very, very much for joining me this evening. It's been a lot of fun for me. I love doing this kind of stuff, and I'm glad that people are here to ask me questions and stuff, because that is how we all learn, you know. When I first started, I wanted somebody to just to sit in and show me what they do with whatever DAW they were using at the time, and loads of people just turned around and said no, because I had no knowledge of it, you know, and they were like, "Oh, you'd be starting from fresh, man. That's a real pain in the ass." It's like, okay, fine, thanks very much. So now I'm of the opinion of if I've got some information that will be helpful to you, I'll pass it the fuck on to you. Why will I pass it the fuck on to you? Because if somebody passed me that information when I was first making music, I could have been better quicker. It's literally that simple. So if you've got any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to email me or message me. If I don't get back to you, message me again. Sometimes messages get lost, and it's you know, they just get lost. So this is me. This is HYBRID23, and yeah. Oh, I'm gonna. Oh no, I can't. Oh darn! All right, okay. Well, I'll leave you with something from the. Oh, actually, I can. You just won't be able to see the visuals. Okay, I'm going to leave you with the Clown Jewels. We did a practice session the other week, and Warren forgot the set list. Not the set list, the Ableton file. So whilst we were waiting for the Ableton file, I had my Chaos pad and a microKORG, and we literally just jammed. Me on the Chaos pad, Chaos oscillator, and the microKORG running through an MX, and Warren with a guitar, and Doghouse with a Chaos pad for his vocals. The Clown Jewels have an interview and set tomorrow night. I will be streaming bits and pieces throughout the day, so please be check those out if you want, you know. Please, Jesus Christ, please. No, if you'd like to check it out, check it out. If you don't want to check it out, that's fine, you know. But they will be on my page throughout the day tomorrow. I'm just gonna queue it up. There we go. So yeah, this is 10 minutes of me, Warren, and Doghouse just messing around because we didn't have an Ableton set. So yeah, there are 7 tracks here, and they've been cut up, so there's like a minute of each of them. So I'm going to leave you with this, and I'm going to bid you adieu, and I will see you tomorrow for loads of live streaming, and I will also see you on a Tuesday for the URL. It's been a pleasure this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you soon.
raising all the buildings, including all the lines. Cutting all the circuits, igniting all the fires, igniting all the fires. You're raising all the buildings, including all the wires. We're breaking all the circuits, igniting all the fires. Close on. Back doors. Small cars. In-laws. Closers. Back doors. Small cars. In-laws. Sitting by the reason got the whole back in the lane. We're gonna blind on gears of the wind. Feeling by the blues, fighting this morning by colored dresses as well. It's plain to see. You are you and I am me. Unfortunately, that's the way it's gonna be. That's the way it's gonna be. She said, baby.